It's alright. So let's start the class so that we can make the best use of the time that we have. Good to see you, Atar. I was missing you in the class for some time, so at least I can see you virtually. Thank you. Alright. So is Isha joining Atar? She's joining. Say that again?
Something happened to her.
Oh, okay. Alright. I hope that is not disturbing you, right? Okay. So, today we are going to talk about an interesting part of Unit 12, which is quadratic equations or graph with quadratic equations. Okay? And that is where we'll talk a lot about parabola, different forms of quadratic equations like standard form, vertex form, or there's one more form called what is the third form? Standard form, vertex form, and then factored form. Okay. These are the three forms. So let's give maybe one more minute before we. Okay, we can actually start. Let Isha go ahead, and then we will do it. Everybody can hear me, okay, right? Yeah. All right. So what is a quadratic equation first of all? Very basic.
It's basically an equation where it's a function with a variable with
Okay, small correction there. A quadratic equation is an equation where it's represented with two variables like y and x, and y is represented in the form of x or a function of x like y equals to x squared plus bx plus c, where the power to the variable, the maximum power to the variable, or simply the power to the variable is 2. If the power to the variable is 1, that's a linear equation. That represents a straight line. If the power to the variable x is 2, that's when it is called a quadratic equation. Alusha? Okay. Everybody can hear me okay? I'm just confirming so that no, I'm not talking to myself. Yeah? Okay. So, we are talking about quadratic equations and the graph with quadratic equations. So when we say quadratic equation, we simply mean an equation with y and x, where the power to the variable, the maximum power to the variable or power to the variable is 2. So if I am saying y equals to ax cubed minus 2x squared plus 7 and y equals to 2x squared minus 7x plus 22. Which one among these two is a quadratic equation? Number 2. This one, because the maximum power to the variable or the exponent is 2. This is the simplest and the easiest definition of a quadratic equation, where your variable has the maximum has the power is 2. I would not say maximum power, because if the minimum power is this becomes a linear equation, not a quadratic equation. Okay? So far, okay? Yeah? Okay. Now, you can represent a quadratic equation in multiple forms. Let me write out those forms and then we will see. One very easy form that you guys would have seen 100 times before. This is called a standard form. Y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. This is the most standard form where y, which is a function of x, or you can write this as y equal to function of x, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. For the sake of simplicity, we don't write this. and don't complicate it. You just say y equals to ax square plus bx plus c. A, b and c are constants. X and y are variables, where y is a function of x with this relationship. This is called standard form. Quadratic equation is standard form. There could be another equation where you can say basically it's nothing but the same equation has been factorized. So basically you have broken this down into factors, and that's why it's called factored form. Like we have solved the problems, right? Then okay. Something like 5x squared plus 20x plus 20. And what we did was we took 5 out here, it became x squared minus 5x, 4x plus 4. And then we found that okay, this is nothing but x minus 2 whole square, or we can say x minus 2 into x minus 2. So the same equation, like in this standard form, we just split that or converted that to factors. So this is called factored form. Okay? And we'll talk about all of them one by one. So first is the standard form, second one is called factored form. So far anything that is leading to confusion? No? Yes? Isha, like I have requested everybody, if it's okay for you, you could turn on your video so that I'm talking to my students one-on-one. If that is okay. Yeah. I have requested everybody so that I don't want to give you the extra privilege of not being on the video, okay? Alright. So this is called standard form, this is called factored form. Now, there is something called, there was a third form that I had mentioned in the WhatsApp message that I sent to you guys. Do you remember what is that? Vertex form. Yeah. Where you can write equation like y into x minus a squared or y equal to x minus h squared plus k. Yeah? This is called a vertex form. So again, I'm not asking you guys to memorize anything. We'll come to all of them one by one. Okay? And this is, I just wanted to acknowledge something. In the entire syllabus of SAT, which I had myself gone through before I started teaching you guys, I found that this is the only one which needed me to prepare a little bit more. Everything else was looking much easier. Okay, thank you. So, this is the one where we will probably pay a lot more attention, and it will take a little bit of extra effort to learn this. Okay, so let's go step by step. So far, no problem, right? Any confusion, any doubt? There are three types of quadratic equation that we talked about. One is called standard form, y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Second is called the factored form, which is y equal to a into x minus b into x minus c. And third is called the vertex form, where y equals to x minus h squared minus k plus k. And again, all these might be sounding gibberish to you guys. It's okay, hold it for a little bit. It will become easy. Okay? They are all relatable. They all have some relationship with each other. So now, when we talk about quadratic equation, what we mean is, or what actually does, the first thing that we need to remember is, it doesn't draw a straight line like a linear equation. What does it draw? Any guesses? Parabolas. Yeah. So any quadratic equation, if you try drawing it, it draws a parabola. Let's try that. Is this better? Is it also good? Okay. And when you find it hot, you can just turn on the fan. Okay. All right. So first of all, let's look at a quadratic equation. Y equals to, let's say, 2x squared plus 5x plus 7. Okay. Everybody can see the board? Y equals to 2x squared plus 5x plus 7. Which form of the equation this is? Standard form. Y equals to ax squared plus bx plus 7. What is a here? 2. What is b here? 5. What is c here? Is 7. So far simple? Nothing to worry? Oh. Now, what I claimed was that every quadratic equation helps me draw a parabola. Let's try doing that. How we will draw? This is my coordinate plane. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Everybody is comfortable with the quadratic plane, right? Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Now, let's try plotting the graph with this equation. What I will do, what we can do, let's find out the first point. How will you find the first point? Put x equals to 0. What is the value of y? When x equals to 0, y equals to 7. I put 0 in this equation. Everywhere, wherever I had x, we put x as 0. That got me y equals 7. No confusion, right? Yeah? And again, see, if I'm assuming that there is no confusion, you have to correct me, okay? You can stop me and say, okay, I didn't understand that. That's okay, but that's perfectly fine. Now, so I got my first point, where x equals to 0, y equals to 7. I got my first point as x equals to 0, y equals to 7. Let's identify where that point is. Where x is 0, y is 7. It will be somewhere here. X is 0. X will be 0 where? On the y-axis. Every point on the y-axis will be where will have x value as 0. Yeah? So it's 0 and 7. 0 and 7. So it's somewhere here. Let's say. Okay? Now, let's find the second point. Where will be my second point? Let me put y equals 0. Let me put y equals 0. What it will become? It will become 2x squared plus 5x plus 7 equals 0. Now we have to solve this quadratic equation. 5x, 2x squared plus 5x plus 7 equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation that you have to solve and find out the corresponding value of x. Okay? I am not putting effort to solve this right now, okay? Because we know there are different ways of solving it. Yeah? So I am not doing it right now. Let's say this gives me two values, okay? Yeah. Let's say it gives me x equals to 2 and x equals to 3. When I solve this quadratic equation 2x squared plus 5x plus 7, let's assume that it gave me two values, 2 and 3. Value of x came as 2 and 3. It's okay to assume? Everybody? Yeah? Okay. We are just assuming it, okay? So why I'm trying to assume that is because any quadratic equation if I solve, I'll get two answers for sure. Okay? So I got x as 2 and x as 3. That means it gave me two more points. one where x is 2, y is 0, and give me second point is x equals to 3 and y is 0. That means these are 2 points where value of y is 0. See, in any equation, when you say y is 0, that means when you say y is 0, where y will be 0? On the x-axis, any point you pick up, the y coordinate of that will be 0 on the x-axis. Likewise, if you look at the y-axis, any point on the y-axis, the x coordinate of that point will be 0. Everybody with me? Yeah? So now, when you got 2 points, when you picked y, see, first point you found by putting x equals to 0 in this equation, and you got this point is 0 and 7. You put 0, x as 0, and you got y, value of y as 7. So this was 1 point. Now we are trying to find out other 2 points. What we did was we picked up, okay, fine, when y is 0, what are those points? Meaning, where this equation is touching the x-axis. We found it is touching the y-axis here when x is 0. Now we are trying to find out where is this guy touching the x-axis. So we found 2 points, 2 and 3. What it means is, if I join these 2 points. So right now I'm just drawing it like this, okay? And this is not the right value. X equals to 2 and 3 is not the right value. That's why this is looking distorted. Otherwise, if I am putting up getting the right solution for this equation, right? And then I put that in this one, it will give me a very symmetric picture like this. Okay? So basically, this is how you draw it. Now, every parabola, if you look at, I call it parabola, you guys call it parabola, right? So mine is Indian accent, you guys have American accent. Alright, so parabola, when you look at, it touches y-axis and it touches x-axis also. What is there to notice here is that it can touch y-axis only at one place. It cannot touch it at 2 places unless it is slanted or no, inverted or it's not vertically aligned. When it comes to x-axis also, maximum places it can touch is 2. It can only touch or cross x-axis at 2 places. Okay? Maximum 2. And that is what you are seeing here. Imagine if the parabola that gets plotted is like this. It will not touch x-axis anywhere. It might touch y-axis for sure, but again, only in one place. Now if the parabola is like this, what's happening? It might touch x-axis in one place and y-axis at 2 places. Summary of this, whatever I am trying to say here is that whenever you look at a parabola is any quadratic equation that you pick up and draw a graph with that, it will be in the form of a parabola. It can be like this, or it might be a sleeping parabola. It might be an inverted parabola. Okay? Now let's look at some of the properties based on whatever we have seen so far. Let's say I have an equation. I use that equation which helps me draw this parabola. Okay? This is my x and y coordinate. So this is touching at y here, and this is crossing x-axis at these 2 places. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. Okay? And this is touching here at 0, comma, let's say 3. Okay? So, whatever equation I had, what did we do here to draw this parabola? First thing is, let's say my equation was in the standard form. and this, let's say A was 3, B was 5, and C was 18. Okay? Use this one to find out the value, find out the point where it crosses y-axis. What did we do? Put x equals to 0, because x will be equal to 0 wherever you go on the y-axis. So you put that, it told you that okay, 0, 3, meaning at this point 0 and 3, it crosses the y-axis or touches the y-axis. And what you did to find out these 2 points, you put y equals to 0, because on this axis, on the x-axis, y will always be 0. So that gives you this equation which you solve and get the two points, the value of x. And that becomes the s coordinate for your point. Okay. So far, this is what we have done. Okay, with the parabola. Now, by looking at this, I need to turn on the fan. Okay. Now, by looking at this, what do you find? I mean, what is the minimum observation that you can make by looking at this parabola? Any observation?
There are two x-intercepts.
Sorry, Beta, say that again.
There are
There are two x-intercepts. Very nice. What else? Open facing up. It's a open parabola facing up. Okay? There could have been a situation, depending on what equation you're dealing with. There can be a parabola like this. That is called open parabola facing down. Yeah? So right now we're talking about open parabola facing up. Now, I'll tell you some interesting fact. Look at this. This is what? As per the standard form. Whenever the coefficient of x squared is positive, or if a is positive, a is greater than 0, your parabola will always be facing up. So this might be a quick tip for you, Isha, okay? If you have a parabola, if you have an equation like this, 2x squared plus 7x minus 19, and y equals to minus 6x squared plus 17x plus 6. Between the two equations, okay? Here is 2x squared plus 7x minus 19, which is minus 6x squared plus 17x plus 6. One thing that you can blindly say, if the value of a is negative, my parabola is going to be upside down. If value of a is positive, it's always going to be facing up. So that could be one of the questions that you might see. I've seen that enough in the Khan Academy. Okay? That's one. Now, what else? What else did we observe here? Again, something similar to what I mentioned before. Any parabola can cross any axis maximum 2 times. Maximum 2 times. So if the parabola is shifted a little bit up, if it's here, it's not crossing the x-axis, but it will touch y-axis. Or if it is like this, the line one, it will be crossing y-axis twice, but only once, only crossing the x-axis once. Okay? So this is just a interpretation from this one. Now let's look at some more properties. This is my parabola. So what is this point called? Louder. The vertex. The vertex of the parabola is the lowest or the highest point in the parabola. Okay? When I say lowest point, meaning, see, if the parabola is upside, facing upward, right? This will be my lowest point. If my parabola is like this will be my highest point. So that is why I said vertex will be my highest or lowest point in the parabola. Okay? Now, okay. Now, you draw a line from here, straight line, but parallel to the y-axis. Do you know what is this line called? Line of symmetry. Why? Because it's like it's something which divides the parabola into two equal parts or creates two mirror images of each other. So this is called line of symmetry. Now let's look at some of the things. Let's say this is not crossing y. Let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? What you will find here is the line of symmetry, this point. Okay? This point, the line of symmetry crosses the x-axis where this plus this by 2. What is that one? 8 plus 2, 10 by 2, 5. This will be exactly in the middle. So, if you are looking at a parabola, if you are knowing about this line of symmetry, you can find out that, okay, the place where it crosses the x-axis, that means I will add the x coordinates and divide that by 2, that will be my mistake. So let's say this point is minus 5 minus 3. Okay. Now this is 5 minus 3 and this is 2 0. This is 8 0. And if you have to find out the equation for a line of symmetry, can anybody find that out? So there are 2 points where the parabola is touching the x-axis. One is 2, 0, second is 8, 0. Okay, and the vertex has the coordinate as 5 minus 3. If somebody says find out the equation for line of symmetry, this is my line of symmetry AB. Find out the equation that represents the line of symmetry. Can somebody try doing it? Okay. Maybe you guys might be trying to recall how do we do it. Any line that you have to find out, any equation for any linear equation, any equation for a line that you have to find out, or any linear equation that you have to derive, you just need 2 points. Coordinates for this one and coordinates for this one. If you know the coordinates for these 2 points, you can fit that in this equation, y equals to mx plus c, to find the equation. Or here I am giving you as 1 point. I was saying this is my line of symmetry. I was saying, can you guys find out what is the equation for line of symmetry? I have 1 point already. If I find out the second point, then I can substitute that value and find out the equation. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry? Undefined? Doesn't matter. Even if it's a straight line, vertically straight, that will not be undefined. Any line, you can say this will be probably, x equals to 4. Any, let's say this is the x equals to 5 actually. So any point on this place in this line, the x coordinate of that will be 5. Okay, so let me do that. Maybe I'm confusing you guys a little bit. So I have one coordinate is 5 minus 3, and second point I'm trying to find out. My second point will be, since this is a line of symmetry, so this will be just half of this. The x coordinate for this will be half of the x coordinate this and this. So 2 plus 8 by 2. So x coordinate will be 5. Y coordinate will anyway be 0. So this is 5 and 0. These are the 2 points I got. Now what we have to do, y equals to mx plus c. Let's find out what is the value of c. Again, c is nothing but the y-intercept. Okay? Meaning, whenever I put the value of x is 0, s0. Now let's put the value of x as value of x and y in this equation. We have two value points, right? So let's pick this one. Y equals to minus 3 equals to m, I will keep m as m, and x is what? 5 plus c. Okay? Then pick the second one. Y is 0. 0 equals to m into x is 5 plus c. Okay? So, y. Okay, yeah. So 5m equals c. Okay, minus c. So 5m equals to minus c. So this becomes this becomes what? So it's fine, right? Okay, I can just add these two equations. So this means 2c equals, no, this find this out. Okay, yeah, this gives me a very weird it will be x equals to 5 because the value of m and c is not coming here, and x equals to 5. Yeah, I mean, this is a vertical line, right? I mean, we don't really have to think too much about it. This will not fit in here. Okay, so got everybody confused and got everybody worried. Let's go back to what we started with. So first of all, we talked about quadratic equation as this, and this will help me draw a parabola. So far this is okay. Here if a is positive, a is greater than 0, my parabola will be facing up. If a is less than 0, it will be facing down. This up to this much is okay. Now when you have an equation like this, you have to find out, let's say, where, let's say your equation is x squared minus 7. This is also a standard form, okay? Just that b is 0 and c is minus 7. A is 1. Here if you see, you can write y equals to 1 x squared plus 0x minus 7. So this is your B, this is your A, this is your C. Yeah? So here A is equals to 1, which is greater than 0. So my parabola will be getting up. Now, from this one we can solve and find out where touches the x-axis, and if you have to find out the vertex, you have to find out the smallest value of y. If this is facing the, this is, what am I saying? Okay. If this is facing up and this is my equation, I can find out where it's cutting the x-axis and where it's cutting the y-axis. Now, if I say, how do I find out the coordinate for the vertex, the smallest point? How do you do it? So if I have a equation for a parabola, I am trying to find out the coordinates for my vertex. So yeah, Praneeth is saying something.
So you go and find your of the
X coordinates.
coordinates and you plug that.
That will give you the value of x. How about y?
So y is your x.
Sorry?
So you let's say that you will know y. You could put it inside the equation on the y.
Okay? Yeah. Alright. It's making it there. Okay, so far there is a lot of confusion, right? Yeah? Be honest. That's okay. Now, okay. This is the chapter where we'll probably have little bit extra time. Now let's say I have an equation for parabola as y equals to 6x squared minus 3x plus 18. My question to you guys is, find out the coordinate for the vertex. Yeah. Can you guys find out the coordinate for the vertex? Let's try doing it. Let's try doing it together. This is my equation for the parabola. What will I do first? Where does it touch the y-axis? So that means I will, okay, where does it touch the y-axis? I will make x equals to 0. So value of y will be 12. Because this is 0, this is 0. So the point where it touches the y-axis is 0, 12. I got this one. What we are trying to find out is the coordinate of the vertex. Okay? Let's say this is x and y. What do I do? Or let's say P and Q. Now, what we have to do is find out where it touches the x-axis, meaning wherever the value of y is 0. So I'll put y equals to 0 in this equation. So it becomes x squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Yeah? Now I will solve for this one. This becomes minus 7x. So it's 4 minus 3, which gives me 4 into 3 for 12. So x squared minus 4x minus 3x plus 12 equals to 0. I applied the formula a plus b ab. Okay? Because it was not flat a minus b whole square. So this gives me x squared minus 4x as one group, and then minus 3 into x minus 4. Yeah? Equals 0. Now here I take x common, it becomes x minus 4 minus 3 into x minus 4 equals 0. So it becomes x minus 3 into x minus 4. So this gives me 2 points, x equals to 3 and x equals to 4. So x equals to 3 here, x equals to 4 here. So the coordinate for this one is 3, 0 and 4, 0. Now, what will be the x coordinate for the vertex? This is exactly in the center. So it's divided by 2. The x coordinate or p will be 3 plus 4 by 2. It will be 3.5. What will be the y coordinate here? What we will do is, this is my equation, and anywhere on this, any place on this parabola will follow this relationship. So my value of x coordinate is 3.5 for this point, which is on the parabola. So I put 3.5 square minus 7 into 3.5 plus 12. This is what will be my value of y. So the coordinate for this vertex will be p as in 3.5, and whatever you get after solving this. 3.5 squared minus 7 to 3.5 equals this. So this will be like 3.5 minus 7 plus 12. It will be 3 minus 3.5 into 3.5 plus 12. Whatever it is. It will be, you guys can use the calculator for this one. So the summary of this is, whatever we are seeing here, if you have an equation for a parabola, you can always find out the vertex for that. You can find out the places where it touches the x-axis, where it touches the y-axis by substituting the value of x and y as 0. And then from that you can find out the vertex. Now let me teach you guys. Up to this much, I know I feel little worried. Am I able to explain it okay, or it's looking difficult? Is it okay so far, or difficult? It's okay? No, I mean, again, I'm myself not confident, honestly speaking. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Shivatsav and Vaibhav? You want to turn it off? Okay, you can turn it off. Just be careful. Just careful. One more time. Reverse. One more time. Yeah. Okay. I think Pranit is okay. Kind of not enjoying this one. Okay, alright. So coming back to what we have seen so far is, parabola is nothing but it uses a quadratic equation to draw a parabola. Okay? Or any quadratic equation that you pick up, it draws a parabola. And there are three ways we can represent a parabola. One form is called standard form, which is y equal to a square plus bx plus c. Second form is called the factored form, which is nothing but an extension of the standard form. Right? If you have an equation like y equals to x square plus bx plus c, you can always convert this into a fraction. If you take, let's say, a out, then it becomes x squared plus b by a x plus c by a, right? And then you can convert this into two fractions. So that's why it's called y equals to a into x minus h into x minus k. This is called the factored form. And here, h and k are the 2 points where it touches the x-axis. Okay? Now, relate this one. Now we were looking at this equation, y equals to something, 5x squared plus 2x plus 7, whatever. Here, this h and k are nothing but the 2 points where it is crossing the x-axis. So if somebody tells you that, okay, my parabola is crossing the x-axis at 2, 0 and 7, 0, find out the equation for the parabola. Okay? And this may not be enough, because here you will replace h with 2 and k with 7, but value of a is still not known. Okay? So that information will also be given to you to be able to derive that. Okay? But what I'm saying is, the standard form or the intercept form or the factored form, both are relatable. Both are just extension of each other. Okay? If you solve this equation and convert that to fractions or factors, that is what it is. Yeah.
Couldn't you, since you got 2 points, couldn't you put in your x and y value and find a from there?
I should be able to. Because here I will have one is this point, one is this point. So let's say in this one, y equals to, y is what? Y is 0, all the cases. 0 equals a into x minus 2 and
x
minus 7. It doesn't give you anything
You
actually.
could substitute the x's, like one of the x's from the points right there.
Huh?
Let's say you have 2, comma 0, you could put in your 2 for your x's and find
If I put 2 for this one,
0.
it will become 0.
Yeah, 0 times, yeah, that one.
This will not help it. You still would need. So this here, this A is nothing but A is called the coefficient of x squared. There is a term for this one. I am missing that one actually. So the standard form and the factored form are pretty much the same. They are just breakdown of this thing, okay? And if you have, if you could be given that, okay, fine, in an equation where value of a, the coefficient of x square is 5 and it touches axis at 5 comma 0 and 10 comma 0, find out the equation for the parabola. You can just use this to find out the value of a, and then you will be able to find out the equation actually. Your standard equation is this, where h and k are nothing but the value of the x coordinate for the 2 points. So for a lot of confusion. So this might be sounding cryptic right now, okay? But even when you try solving, so we'll probably do this in 2 classes, okay? One class is for getting the hangover of what we are trying to understand here. So what is a parabola, what is a quadratic equation? We know how to factorize a quadratic equation to find out the values also, right? So that is what we can apply here. And then we will try solving all the sums in the unit test, and let's assume that whatever we have learned is not good enough, okay? Let's go with that assumption for now. And then we'll try doing unit tests and see if this much of information is helping me solve all the problems or not, and what are those points where I'm getting stuck, okay? More like a, what do you say? More like a sports, where we have learned something, very basic thing, right? Any quadratic equation results into a parabola, very simple. If you have to draw a parabola, you will find out where it touches the y-axis, and that is where you will put x equals to 0 and find out the intercept on y-axis. Similarly, wherever it touches on x-axis, you will put y equals to 0, find out those points. If you have to find out the vertex will be division of the 2 x coordinates, and that will give you the x, the value of x coordinate, and then y coordinate you can anyways. You know that you have to find out the lowest point by applying that value in the formula, right? Similarly, we learned about what is line of symmetry. We learned about when value of a is positive, what it means. When value of a is negative, what it means. And what else? I think that's all we have done for now. I want you guys to do the unit test with this much of information, and let's see where we are getting stuck. Okay? Yeah? Is that okay? Is that like a deal for now? Yeah? And this time I would want you guys to be extra honest. When I say extra honest, what I mean is, I want you guys to get stuck. If you are getting stuck, don't try finding a workaround. Come back to me and say, sir, whatever you explained, that was not enough. That is what will make me go into the next level of detail. Okay? Yeah? So, and there was one more topic that I was trying to pick up. That was isolating quantities. That was another thing that I wanted to briefly touch upon. I know you guys already know it, but it will be a good idea to just at least go through the basic concepts. That will help you quite a lot with each and every math problem that you deal with. Isolating quantities. Simple thumb rule is, bring similar stuff in one basket. That's what it means. If somebody says 5x squared plus 7x minus 22y equal to 7x squared plus 5. So simple thing to do always is put similar things together. X squared has to be with x squared. Y, if there is nothing, keep it aside. So basically, make sure that near the equal to sign, you have all the similar things on one side, and let's say you're talking about the formula for energy. What is that? Something like half mv squared. Okay, forget about it. Let's say interest. Simple interest. What is the formula for that? Principal amount into rate of interest by 100. Okay. If you are given question that okay, I got 2,000 rupees, $2,000 as interest, or I have $2,000 in my bank account, okay, as my principal amount, and the bank is saying they will give me 10% interest. What is my total interest? So, what is the total interest I will get in 1 year? Interest will be principal is $2,000 into rate of interest, which is 10 by 100. Okay. What you are doing here is you have all the numerical values one side and the unknown on one side. That's how we are solving it, right? So, isolation of quantity is nothing but it says bring the similar things together. If somebody says 7x squared plus into y by 25 equals to xy, what you have to do is you have to isolate. You have to isolate x, one variable on one side, other variable on the other side. So let's say we keep x on this side. So I will say 7x squared. This x I will bring here. It becomes here. And 25 will remain 25. And y I am moving to that side. So y I had in the numerator. This comes here down. This way. So this makes it 1. So 7x squared by x into 25 equals to 1. Now, again isolation means you keep only the variables on one side, everything else on the other side. So here 7x squared you can write as 7x into x. So 1x gone. Now 7x by 25 equals to 1. Isolation means only keep the variable on one side. You only want to know x. What is the value of x? Everything else travels to the other side. So this guy goes up, this guy comes down. So I have to move 25 to the other side of the equal to sign and move 7 to the other side of this thing. So this topic did not have anything extra to be covered. It just puts a conceptual view to things, saying that when you are dealing with multiple variables, multiple types of data, you have to isolate them to be able to solve. Isolate meaning it's like quarantine. All the people with COVID go into one room. All the people who are healthier go to another room. Everybody who has got the vaccine go to another room. Everybody who has not been eating well go to another room. Yeah. So that you can do all the calculations like quantities or variables together. That's all about it. Okay. So there is not much that is to learn, but these are two subtopics that we had inside this unit 12: isolation of quantities and the quadratic graphs or the parabolas that we looked at. I would want you guys to do the unit test for both of them with a very honest approach. I want you guys to get stuck, and if you get stuck, don't be shy, let me know that okay, for these 4 problems I got stuck. I'll be very happy to know that, okay? Because if you just try finding a workaround, try solving by yourself, I would assume that okay, I taught it the best possible way, and I am myself not confident right now. Whatever I taught, I know I taught everything that was there in Khan Academy, but I'm not really confident that if I was able to explain that in a very simple way or not. Okay, so I want you guys to take this information, try these 2 unit tests, and let me know if you are kind of getting stuck anywhere. Okay? Yeah. Now, this brings us to the end of unit 12. So once you guys do these 2 unit tests, that finishes unit 12. So for each one of you, I would want you guys to take this into account. What are the topics that you would want me to cover? Otherwise, I will start from unit 1. Unit 1 I think we had covered. I'll look at what all we have covered in the digital SAT prep syllabus, and then I'll start sequentially. But in between, if you would want me to focus on any particular topic, just let me know. So Isha, I mean that's more of a question for you. Let me know if you would want me to focus on any particular topic before I start the sequence. Okay. And for you guys also, once your school starts, then you might have certain topics that might come your way when the school starts, right? And you guys can keep on pouring in that information to me, saying that okay, can we cover this particular topic? Because all the topics that you guys learn from 9th till 12th, that is what comes in SAT. Okay, so there's going to be nothing outside SAT syllabus. Just that you have to let me know what extra focus you want on a particular topic in a given class. Otherwise, I will follow my sequence of topic. Okay? Yeah? Everybody okay? Yeah?